Hi class, today our topic of discussion is problems on quadratic equation. Now in this chapter, you will get a wide variety of problems and there is different techniques to solve all the problems. So there is no single technique. But certain things if you keep in mind will help you to solve the sum. First thing, read the sum carefully. Second, express the unknown quantity or quantities with the help of variables. Third, frame an equation. Fourth, solve the equation. And fifth, which is very important, check your answer with the given problem. Clear? Now let us directly move to the sums from this chapter. So look at sums from exercise 5.5 M L AGGARWAL. I'll just frame the equation. You'll solve it because we have done enough of solving in the previous exercises. Okay? Now look, 1a. Find two consecutive natural numbers such that the sum of the squares is 61. We know consecutive natural number, let it be x and x plus 1. If somebody writes x minus 1 and x, that is also correct. Okay. Now according to the problem, if you see the sum of the squares, which means when you square them and when you add them, you get 61. Solve the equation. You'll get two values of x. See which value of x satisfies your problem. Look at sum number 2 part 1. If the product of two consecutive even integer is 288, find the integer. Now look carefully. Let the integers, even integers be 2x, comma 2x plus 2, where x belongs to your integer. See, any even number can be written as a multiple of 2. So I have written 2x, where x is integer, and consecutive. So what happens in even number? You add 2 and you get another number 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. So I've added 2. Now look, the product. So according to the problem, they said the product of these two numbers is 288. Now solve this equation, and once you get the answer, again check your answer with the given problem. Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 3. The sum of two numbers is 9 and the sum of the squares is 41. Taking one number as x, form an equation and solve it to find the numbers. Definitely your first number, they have told x, and we know the sum of the number is 9. So your second number has to be 9 minus x, the sum minus the first number. Now look at the problem. What they have told? The sum of the squares, again same thing. If you square this and if you square this and you add them, sum, you'll get 41. Done. Solve this. You'll get two values of x. See that which value satisfies the problem. Okay. Number 4. 5 times a certain whole number is equal to 3 less than twice the square of the number. Find the number. Very easy. Let the number be x. Now look carefully. According to the problem, 5 times a certain whole number is equal to 3 less than twice the square of the number. Find the number. Done. Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 5. Pretty easy. Sum of two natural number is 8. So let the numbers be x, comma 8 minus x, because when you add them you get 8 only, and the difference of the reciprocal, which means the reciprocal of this minus the reciprocal of this, gives you 2 by 15. Done. So this is your equation. Now look at sum number 8 part 2. Find 3 consecutive odd integers, the sum of whose square is 83. Very easy. Let the integers, these are odd integers, be x, comma x plus 2, x plus 4. Isn't it? Because if 3 is your first odd integer, then you add plus 2. So 3 plus 2 gives you 5. Then 5 plus 2 again gives you 7. So from here to here I added 2. From here to here again I added 2. Now look at the given condition. The sum of whose squared, which means according to the problem, when you square them and when you add them, you get 83. Done. Okay. I think 6, 7 they are given hint, that's why I have not solved. Sum number 9. In a certain positive fraction, the denominator is greater than the numerator by 3. Look, let the numerator equals to x, then the denominator becomes x plus 3. And what is your original fraction? It's x by x plus 3. Now look, if 1 is subtracted from both the numerator and the denominator, the fraction is decreased by 1 by 14. Now your new fraction is, they told, 1 is subtracted from both the numerator and denominator. So x minus 1 and x plus 3 minus 1, which is x minus 1 by x plus 2. Now this, the fraction is decreased by 1 by 40, which means this is smaller than this. By how much? 1 by 40. So I can say your original fraction minus your new fraction gives you 1 by 40. So that's my equation. Clear? Now let's look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 12. It came in ICSE 2014. A 2-digit positive number says that the product of its digit is 6. And if 9 is added to the number, the digits interchange their places. Find the number. Now in a 2-digit number, you have a digit at 1's place and you have a digit at 10's place. So I'll take, let the digit at 10's place be x. Then definitely the digit at 1's place will be 6 by x. Why? Because the product, when you multiply this, see how much you are getting, x into 6 by x. You are getting 6 only. The product of its digit is 6. Now you got the digit at 10's place, you got the digit as 1's place. So what is the number? Your original number? Your original number is 10x plus 6 by 10. Any number, we know, suppose 53, can be written as 10 into 5 plus 3. 10 multiplied by the digit at 10's place plus the unit digit. Now look at the condition according to the problem. If 9 is added to the numbers, so if you add 9 to the number, the digits interchange their places, which means this becomes 10 multiplied by 6 by x plus x. But that's the equation. Clear? Now look at the next sum. A rectangle of area 105 centimeter square has its length equals to x, which means they have given the length as x and the area as 105 centimeter square. This is in centimeter, of course. Write breadth in terms of x. Very easy. Breadth we know is equal to area by length, which is 105 by x. Given that the perimeter is 44 centimeter. Now look, can we say according to the problem, what is the formula for perimeter? Twice L plus B, this is equal to 44. Put the values, twice L plus B equals to 44. Write down an equation in x, which we have done, and determine the dimensions of the rectangle. So once you solve this, you will get x. Once you get x, which means you will get length and breadth easily. Clear? Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 14. A rectangular garden 10 meter by 16 meters to be surrounded by a concrete walk of uniform width, given that the area of the walk is 120 meters square. Assuming the width of the walk to be x, form an equation in x and solve it. Let us draw the diagram. What happened? this was your rectangle. Suppose it was 16 meter by 10 meter, isn't it? Now this is to be surrounded by concrete walk of uniform width. So you have to surround this by a concrete walk of uniform width. Okay, and the width they have given as x. If the area of the walk, which means area of this shaded region, okay, is 120, form an equation is x and solve it. Now look carefully. For the outer rectangle, if you see, okay, the length becomes 16 plus 2x, x on this side, x on this side. The breadth becomes 10 plus 2x. Now how to get the area of the walk? The area of the walk will be outer rectangle area minus inner rectangle area, which means, can I write, according to the problem, the outer area, which is length into breadth, minus the inner area, which is 16 into 10. This will be equal to 120. Done. Clear? Now look at sum number 17. The length of the parallel side of the trapezium are x plus 9 and 2x minus 3, and the distance between them is x plus 4. If the area is 540 centimeter square, find x. Very simple. We know half into sum of parallel sides into perpendicular distance between the parallel sides is equal to the area of a trapezium. Now put the value. So half multiplied by sum of parallel side, which means x plus 9 plus 2x minus 3, and this will be multiplied by the perpendicular distance, which is x plus 4, and this will be equal to 540. Done. Now look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 18. If the perimeter of a rectangular plot is 68 meter and length of its diagonal is 26 meter, find the area. Let's draw a rectangle. Okay, this is 90 degree. This is a diagonal A, B, C, D. The total diagonal is 26 meter. Now we know twice of L plus twice of B is 68, which is the perimeter, which means, can I write L plus B is 68 by 2, which is 34. So if I take, suppose, the length as x, so x plus b is 34. So your b will be 34 minus x, which means this is 34 minus x. Now we can use Pythagoras theorem over here. According to the problem, can I say x square plus 34 minus x whole square is equal to 26? And that's my equation. Done. Now look at sum number 20. The hypotenuse of a grassy land in the shape of a right triangle. Always draw a diagram if you can, okay, in this kind of sums. A, B, C. They told now. Now look at the sum. The hypotenuse of a grassy land in the shape of a right angle triangle is 1 meter more than twice the shortest side. Let the shortest side be x. And this is 1 meter more than twice the shortest side, 2x plus 1. And if the third side is 7 meter more than the shortest side, which means this is x plus 7. Again, we can use Pythagoras theorem, which means, according to the problem, can I write the hypotenuse square equals to the base square plus perpendicular square? Clear? Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 22. In a PT display, 480 students are arranged in rows and columns. If there are 4 more students in each row, then the number of rows. Find the number of students in each row. Let the number of students in each row be x. Now, the total number of students is 480. Therefore, number of rows has to be 480 divided by x. Now look at, according to the problem, what they said. If there are 4 more students in each row, then the number of rows, which means x will be equal to number of rows plus 4. This was the number of student. Clear? And this is my equation. Done. Now let us look at sum number 23. In an auditorium, the number of rows was equal to the number of seats in each row. If the number of rows is doubled and the number of seats in each row is reduced by 5, then the total number of seats is increased by 375. There are two cases. See, in the first case, the number of rows was equal to the number of seats. So, number of rows, suppose x, number of seats in each row is also x. So what is total number of seats? Total number of seats will be x multiplied by x, which is x square. Number of rows multiplied by number of seats in each row. Now in the second case, what they have told, if the number of rows is doubled, so here number of rows is twice x and the number of seats in each row is reduced by 5. Number of seats in each row is x minus 5. Over here the total number of seats will be 2x multiplied by x minus 5. Then the total number of seats is increased by 375, which means this, according to the problem, the second case minus the original case will be equal to 375, and that's my equation. Done. Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 25. Important sum. It came in ICSE. A bus covers a distance of 240 km at a uniform speed. Due to heavy rain, its speeds get reduced by 10 km per hour, and as such, it takes 2 hours longer to cover the total distance. Assuming that the uniform speed is x km per hour, form an equation and solve it. There are two cases again. See, D1 is 240 km. Your S1 was what? X km per hour. So your time taken will be 240 by x. Simple. Now what happened? Due to heavy rain, speeds get reduced by 10 km per hour, which means distance is still same, that's 240 km per hour, but the speed got reduced by 10 km per hour, which means speed will be what? X minus 10 km per hour, and in this case time will be distance by speed. Now they have told it takes 2 hours longer, which means T2 minus T1, according to the problem, this time is more by how much? 2 hours, which means T2 minus T1 is equal to 2 hours. Done. Now sum number 26. Similar sum. The speed of an express train is x km per hour and the speed of an ordinary train is 12 km per hour less than that of express train. If the ordinary train takes 1 hour longer than the express train to cover a distance of 240 km, find the speed of the express train. Same way, see, you have an express train, you have an ordinary train. Over here, the speed is x and the distance is 240. So time 1 will be 240 by x. Over here, what happened? T2 I am directly writing. The speed is less by how much? 12 km per hour. So you can say x minus 12. Now it takes, the ordinary train takes 1 hour longer, which means I can say T2 minus T1, which means 240 by x minus 12 minus 240 by x equals to 1, and that's my equation. This was similar sums. Okay, now let us look at the next sum. Sum number 28 to 31 are similar to 26 and 27, so I have not done that. Look at sum number 32. A boat can cover 10 km up the stream and 5 km down the stream in 6 hours. If the speed of the stream is 1.5 km per hour, find the speed of the boat in still water. This is a sum based on relative speed. There are two things you see, upstream and downstream. Now upstream, the distance is 10 km. Okay, downstream the distance is 5 kilometer, and they have told the speed of the stream. So speed of stream is 1.5 kilometer per hour. So take, suppose the speed of boat in still water be x, then the relative speed in this case when you go upstream, which means against the stream, then it's x minus 1.5, isn't it? Similarly over here, when you go down the stream, your relative speed will be x plus 1.5. Clear? Now over here, t1, time is what? 10 by x minus 1.5. Over here, t2 is what? Distance by this. And the total time taken is 6 hours, which means this plus this. Which means according to the problem, can I write 10 by x minus 1.5 plus 5 by x plus 1.5 equals to 6. And that's my equation. Done. Now let us look at the next sum, which is sum number 34, part 1. Rupees 480 is divided equally among x students. So total you had rupees 480 and number of student you had is x. So each gets how much? Rupees 480 by x, isn't it? Now I read this out. If the number of student, if the number of children rather, were 20 more, which means in the second case, number of student was x plus 20, okay, then each would have got rupees 12 less. Over here, each gets how much? Total is still the same, 480 by x plus 20. Now according to the problem, in this case they are getting less, which means the original case minus the new case, they will get 12 rupees less. Clear? Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 36. They have told a trader buys X article for the total cost of rupees 600. Write in the cost of one article in terms of X. Very easy. Cost of one article is the total cost divided by the number of article. Now they told if the cost per article were rupees 5 more, which means according to the problem, if the cost of the article were 5 more, then the number of articles that can be bought for rupees 600 would be 4 less, which means this will be x minus 4. In the second case, they told number of article is 4 less, which is x minus 4. Total you still have 600, therefore cost will be 600 by x minus 4, isn't it? Which means 600 by x plus 5 is equal to 600 by x minus 4. Clear? Now let us look at the next sum. Now let us look at sum number 37. A shopkeeper buys a certain number of books for rupees 960. If the cost per book was rupees 8 less, then the number of books that can be bought for rupees 960 would be 4 more, which means this is the difference between the number of books in both cases. Taking the original cost of the each book to be rupees x, write an equation. Now there are two cases, your original and your second case. In the original, cost of each book is rupees x, and over here the cost of each book is x minus 8. You had 960 rupees. Total you have rupees 960. So number of books that you can buy is 960 by x. Over here again your total is still the same. You have 960, which means number of books which you can buy is 960 by x minus 8. And the difference of the book is 4. And of course, you can buy more books in this case. So second case minus the first case is equal to 4. And that's your equation. Am I clear? Now look at the next one. A piece of cloth cost rupees 300. If the piece was 5 meters longer and each meter of cloth cost rupees 2 less. So this is the difference in the price per meter. So we need to find price per meter in both the cases. The cost of the piece would have remained unchanged. How long is the original piece of cloth? So you had original and the second case. Well, how long is the original piece of cloth? Let the total length be x, and in second case it is 5 meters longer, which is x plus 5. Okay, and what is the total amount we have? Total cost is rupees 300. So cost per meter is 300 by x. Over here again, total is still unchanged, which means cost per meter will be 300 by x plus 5. And this is rupees 2 less, which means the original minus the second case will give you 2. Am I clear? So that's your equation. Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 39. The hotel bill for a number of people for overnight stay is rupees 4800. That's the total bill few people pay. If there were 4 more, the bill each person had to pay would have reduced by rupees 200, which means 200 is the difference in amount each person pays. Okay, find the number of people staying overnight. Very easy. 2 cases. See, this is your original case and this is the second case. The total payment is fixed, is rupees 4800. Over here the total payment is fixed, 4800. Number of person, suppose we take x. So over here number of person 4 more, x plus 4. Now each pays how much? 4800 by x, and over here each pays 4800 by x plus 4, and the difference is 200, which means this minus the second case, because if there were more number of people the amount will be less, is 200. Done. Now look at sum number 41. It says Ritu bought a sari for rupees 60x, which means CP is rupees 60x, and sold it for rupees 500 plus 4x. So SP is rupees 500 plus 4x at a loss of x%, isn't it? Find the CP. Now we all know that SP is equal to CP into 100 minus L% by 100. Just substitute the value, which is 500 plus 4x equals to 60x bracket 100 minus x by 100, and that's your equation. Solve it. Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at 42 part 1. The sum of ages of Vivek and his younger brother Amit is 47. So if I take, let the present age of Vivek is equal to x years, then Amit's age will be 47 minus x, because the sum is 47. When you add this, you get 47 only. And the product of the ages, so according to the problem, the product of the ages in years is 550. So that's my equation. Done. Now look at 42 part 2. Paul is x years old and his father's age is twice the square of Paul's age. 10 years hence. Now there are 2 cases. See, you have Paul, you have his father. Make a table like this. This will be helpful. This is your present situation and 10 years hence. See, Paul is X years old and his father's age is twice the square of Paul's age. 10 years hence, this will be X plus 10. This is 2X squared plus 10. 10 years hence, father's age now, according to the problem, the father's age is 4 times the son's age, and that's my equation. Done. Now let us look at the next sum. Now let us look at sum number 44, the last sum. Very interesting. 2 years ago, a man's age was 3 times the square of his daughter's age. 3 years hence, his age will be 4 times his daughter's age. Find the present ages, which means there is a man and the daughter. Look carefully. There are 3 cases, if I can see. There is one case which is present. This is 2 years ago, and this is his age after 3 years hence. 3 years hence. Now, 2 years ago, a man's age was 3 times the square of his daughter's age. So 2 years ago, let the daughter's age be X. So the man's age is 3 times the square of the daughter age. Now the present age will be 3x squared plus 2, x plus 2. Now 3 years hence, it will be 3x squared plus this becomes 5, 2 plus 3, and this becomes x plus 5. Now look, according to the problem, 3 years hence, his age, this means the father's age, will be 4 times the daughter's age. Done. That's the solution. So keep it till here and take care.